Good evening. Welcome to Soundtrack with Birdman. Tonight, Transformers, the movie. The year is 1986, the only year a Transformers movie has ever been released. Right, Matthew Flynn? Back me up here.
Okay, I wasn't paying attention. I was sorting something out.
This is really the only Transformer film that's ever been put out, right? Like those Michael Bay ones don't count.
Yeah, the only one that's worth anything.
Yes, that's right. And H. Boomer, how are you?
I'm doing well. I got your package you sent me. You sent me some cool CDs, and you sent me a Total Recall novelization. Yes. Is that based on the movie, or is that based on the story? Did they just write it based off the movie?
Based off the screenplay.
All right. Well, thank you. I appreciate the package, dude. It's cool stuff.
Because we discussed that when we did the show, and I brought it up, and I couldn't remember who did, but Pierce Anthony did it, correct?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, hold on. I got the book here. Let me take a look.
Okay.
See if I can read it.
But he's like a big time sci-fi writer, right?
Piers Anthony. Wow, interesting. See the one that did Night of the Cave Bear, or am I thinking of something else?
I don't really read fiction that much. So
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
All right, let me see here. I gotta get myself an appropriate image to put on here. Just give me a sec here.
I will welcome the chat real fast. We have Big Al, who was here. I guess he's still here. Melissa Harris, hello. How are you? How's Jake? Zootopia's in the house. Matthew Flynn's in the chat and on the screen. Zootopia, did I say Zootopia? And Chris P. So welcome everybody. And first night to have Matthew Flynn on. He is a Transformers authority. Would you agree, Matthew?
Yeah, I definitely know a lot about this franchise. I mean, I have like multiple of the shows on DVD, and as you can see behind me, multiple figures.
Is this your favorite franchise?
Yep, definitely. Can't think of any franchise that's closer to my heart than Transformers.
And what about you, H. Boomer? Are you Team Optimus Prime or Team Megatron?
Hold on. At least if I can get my avatar uploaded. I like this guy the best. Hold on. I don't know which side he's on.
Perhaps? I can see you Team Cup.
Maybe you can tell me. Hold on. I'm not really an expert. What?
Oh, that's a GoBot, not a Transformer.
Yeah, well, they're the Transformers cousins. That's what the kids in the playground used to say, right? We got the GoBots for the
does
birthday.
own GoBots now, so.
I don't know. I like Unicron. He's pretty cool.
Yeah, sounds pretty cool.
I don't know. I have to admit, I'm kind of a Transformers novice. I'm kind of along for the ride tonight. But I did watch the movie ahead of time just to make sure I wasn't completely lost. And I'll probably still be completely lost because I don't know who half these people are, man.
I mean, this movie was like a in-between season 2 and 3 of the show.
All right, Optimus Prime animated.
Yeah.
Movie. I'm telling you, you can't find images worth anything on this movie. This is like a forbidden film. I have a question, Matthew. Did you see this in the theaters, or were you too young?
I would say too young. I mean, during when I was a kid, I was like the late 90s, so I would have been watching Beast Wars. Although I did see some Transformers, like some G1 cartoon before this movie.
All right.
Because I watched episodes from like all 3 seasons before I knew this movie existed. I mean, I think it wasn't until like I was about 15 when I saw this movie for the first time.
So Boomer, you're old enough to be Matthew's father.
Well, I'm not. At least not as far. Anyway,
you're old enough to be his dad. I'm just saying.
Okay, all right. I'm just saying. I you know. Okay. Here we go. There we go.
Big Al says Omega Supreme is his favorite. I never had Omega Supreme, but he was awfully sweet looking in that package.
Here, I'll be that character, Gamatron, that was in the movie, right?
Who?
Gamatron? I don't know. Whatever. You know what? I can't keep track of all of these names, okay? It's like I need to have an encyclopedia just to understand what's going on in this movie, okay? It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
We'll get into it.
There actually was an encyclopedia.
Oh my goodness!
Kind of
like a Transformerspedia.
I think it was called Transformers: The Ultimate Guide.
I bet they made a new one recently, but it has all the Michael Bay stuff in it now.
I mean, I do have a visual history book. Oh, that's somewhere here. Oh, there it is. Oh, yeah, that's what I was talking about before. About I can't go that far back with these headphones on. I'm plugged one of them.
By the way, chat, don't be fooled. That's straight up vodka. I'm Daniel sipping down. Okay.
Yeah, it's straight up Deer Park, 100% natural spring water.
There we go.
But maybe Boomer will make me an alcoholic tonight. So.
No, stop it. Transformers. Yeah. Whoa, that's cool. What is that? Oh, for visual history. Cool. Yeah.
It has like box art and character designs and basically all of Transformers. The original G1 show, the Japanese shows, like the later like Beast Wars and Beast Machines, and of course all the other shows that came out. Cool. It does also include the Michael Bay films, and also the most recent stuff.
Interesting.
Oh yeah, and of course it includes the all of the Transformers comics that came out.
Cool. What did I like during the 80s? I had a Transformer. I had one of the Dinobots. I had one of the Dinobots. I had one of the Dinobots. The one that looked like the Brontosaurus.
Sludge?
Yeah, I think yes. He's not the one that talks in this. That's the T-Rex, right?
They can all talk. And they can all breathe fire as well. Here's some...
Is that Predacon?
Yes, Predaking.
Yeah.
Oh, I had one of the... I had one of the tapes,
yeah, that's his name, the tiny writing in the corner. And then I have no idea if you...
Oh, cool.
And then there's... This book is actually very heavy. It's like massive.
Cool. Yeah, that is huge. That's a good book.
Wow.
Yeah, the binding isn't actually attached to the actual back of the spine of the book. So the pages are kind of leaning out of the book. I don't know.
That happens with a lot of those big ones.
I think it's more of a case of making it easier to open and close the book and not have to worry about the pages, because if it's glued down, then you kind of have to... A small bit of the page won't actually fold with the rest of it.
Yeah, I got my...
There goes Dark Hawk.
I got my Tomb Raider comics collections. They're kind of like that. They're very big volumes.
Oh, God damn it. No, Dark Hawk's not going to stand.
Maybe Boomer will get a Transformer book for Christmas.
You know, how about a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles book instead, huh?
Okay. Well, Scott Santa Claus already got your Christmas gifts, so.
Hey, by the way, what did I want to mention to you, though? I don't know. Yeah, well, it's probably too late to plan this month, though. I think we could do like a whole 80s month. You could do the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie next week, and
what are the other big G.I. Joe movie as well?
The G.I. Joe movie,
which I think came out like a year after this movie.
Yeah, it was actually supposed to come out before this movie, but it wasn't done in time. And after
also I think wasn't Duke meant to die in that movie?
Yeah.
And then the reaction to Optimus Prime dying in the film changed.
Yeah, they're like, I
don't think they actually reanimated it anyway. I think they just sort of kept in the moment where he actually is meant to die, where they just quickly added a line to say that he's gone in a coma or something like that.
Yeah. I mean, that's about the same as dying, right? I mean, in cartoon world,
it kind of sucks out kind of the impact of him dying, because he appears to die, but then it isn't. So I feel like it would probably suck out some of the emotion of the scene.
He does get a snake spear shot through his heart, so.
Yeah, and you see blood.
Yeah.
I think that's possibly the only time in a kid's movie that you actually see blood, unless there's another movie.
Yeah. I mean, there was Batman the Animated Series. There was they would have blood on that sometimes.
Although that was later in the 90s.
Yeah, that was later on. So yeah, actually, it's funny when they did Justice League for Cartoon Network. They said, you're allowed to kill characters off, but you can't have blood. Whereas on the old series, you couldn't kill characters off, but you could have blood. Isn't that weird?
Yeah.
Censorship rules and all that.
And if they're a robot, you can basically do what you want because they're not technically human.
Yeah. So, Daniel, how are you watching this? Do you have the original VHS you got back in 1987 or something?
No, I do have the original cassette soundtrack release there still.
Oh, really? Okay. A lot of power ballads to this. So are you renting this as well, Daniel? Where are we starting from?
I paid to add it to the Google collection.
Okay, so you have it's like starts with the Shout Factory. Like, where do you want me to pause it at? That's my question for you.
Yeah, let me get my passcode correct.
We do it right after the.
It's a good thing every version of this film that I have is technically the American version.
Why?
Because there's an international version that has a slightly altered beginning and end to the movie.
Really?
And also the UK version is a tiny bit shorter than the American version.
Interesting.
But the version that I have of the American version, yeah, I have the 20. It says 20th anniversary, but it's in all Korean all over it. So I have a feeling this is possibly a foreign version. It still works on my computer. I just have to navigate menus that I can't read.
All right, you all set up?
Yeah, I got a bunch of zeros on the screen up. Ready to press play?
I just have it past the Hasbro mark, okay? So hopefully that's where you're at, okay?
Yeah, I got Shout Factory.
And then Hasbro pops on.
My version doesn't have like the Shout Factory logo or anything like that.
All right, I'm just gonna play.
I have a grey background with a black outline of a lion.
Yeah, okay.
I'm like 1 second in.
I think I got past all that crap, and I'm just right before the movie starts. So I don't know how you guys want to do it, but yeah.
Yeah, I got the gray line popping up right now.
All right. Do I have a gray line on mine?
You should.
I got a gray lion too. Look at that. Yeah, the gray lion. Okay, now we can start it. I'm pausing it. He's just rising up, so I'll pause right in the middle of him rising up. Okay, so what do you guys want? All right.
Press play.
You want to do a 3, 2, 1?
3, 2, 1. Transform.
What's that noise? The gah, whatever that does. I have to say, I was not a Transformers kid. Okay, but go ahead, Daniel. Tell us how you were a Transformers kid, maybe, huh?
Okay, first off, here's Unicron and Unicron's theme, which was on the original soundtrack release. And every time I go into All You Can Eat Buffet, I make sure to play this on my phone.
You going out of the Golden Corral?
Oh, yeah. You walk in at the Unicron's theme, they're like, oh, we need to close early tonight. So.
I'm not a big buffet person, but when I was younger, I had kind of a thing for the Golden Corral. And plus, they have cotton candy there.
What?
Yes. And I'm thinking, I would assume so because it's a buffet. All right. Wow. So what planet is this? This is like, was this featured on the old show before this movie came out?
No, this was made for this movie.
Okay.
This planet. What is it? Loaf Fall or something like that? That's probably not exact. That's probably not accurate. That's probably a mispronunciation.
Okay.
But they do know who Unicron is, but the Autobots have no idea who Unicron is.
This might be a Cybertronian colony world. Although we never see any of these guys transform, so that might not be the case.
Orbilis, look, it's Unicron. Okay. So was Unicron ever mentioned on the show?
Oh, no, I just realized Remember when I said mine has Korean writing all over the case?
Yeah.
Yeah, the movie's playing in Korean for me.
Oh, no. Can you put English subtitles on?
Okay, there, I've just switched it over to English.
Okay, you should be all right then. I imagine this movie was popular in Korea, maybe, right? South Korea, at least. I assume in North Korea, they didn't get this. They just got probably whatever version that the never mind. Anyway, I know the guy used to like to make movies. The guy that ran over Korea.
Yeah.
So he probably made his own Transformers. Okay.
That one member of this planet that's like speaking, and he's actually the same character we actually meet a lot later in the film.
Okay. Yeah, because
one thing you'll be aware of is even when like Transformers goes kind of dark, there's still kind of some silliness to it. I mean, the inside of Unicorn is making a large chomping sound, like a very cartoony chomping sound.
Yep. Yeah, some of the sound effects are a little cartoony, but the stuff on the screen is... Oh, here we get the song. Now, Daniel, I have a question for you. Did you see this in the movie theater?
No. I caught it in video cassette after the fact.
Oh, okay. I imagine this was a big deal to see on the big screen, right?
It caused a lot of problems. No one was expecting all these people to die. Optimus Prime died, which crushed a lot of people.
They said there were children crying in the theater when that happened.
I heard a story of someone locking themselves in a closet because of this.
Yeah. It's got some cuss words in it.
Only
one swear word and one mild swear word. I mean, we don't see it as a...
I heard shit. Now, I heard shit. Excuse my French, Daniel. But anyway.
And also we hear one of them say "damn it."
Oh,
I think back in the day it was considered a mild swear word.
Man, I mean that was like seeing a girl's bra strap at McDonald's. You know?
People
fourth grade.
People don't realize this. Yeah. Back in the day, to hear in a cartoon someone say even like a mild cuss word was a huge deal. I think there was I remember on the PlayStation. I think it was in the game Suikoden where one of the guys says shit, and it was like a huge deal. It's like, what, cussing in a video game? You know, it's like, yeah, it's, you know.
Did you know that the one Autobot who runs really fast and like talks really quick?
Yeah.
You know, he's voiced by the guy who does the advert for the Micro Machines.
Yes.
The guy who can talk really fast.
I kept saying, I know that guy. Why do I know this man? And I realized it's the Micro Machine dude. Okay. Maybe they picked him for those Micro Machine commercials because he played the fast guy in this. Think about it. Yeah. Kind of the same target audience.
In the late 80s, Transformers did have a thing where they were competing with the Micro Machines, so they made their own kind of knockoff, I suppose you would call it, and they call them Micromasters. Actually, I have a few Micromasters behind me.
I have some of the Micro Machines. I have the Star Wars ones.
Little Micromaster. This is a modern Micromaster, but it's about the exact same size as the original 80s toy.
Decepticreeps. Okay, so what is the main storyline of Transformers? The Decepticons take over the Autobots' home planet and took it over.
The original cartoon, the Decepticons were the ones primarily, more of them, and they were in control. Yeah, the Autobots were definitely more of a resistance movement, I suppose you would say as well.
I see. Okay, so it's like...
even though in the original Toyland there were way more Autobot toys than Decepticon toys.
Who's the human character here? Was he on the show?
Yes. I mean, this movie takes place in 2005.
The distant 2005.
Yeah. And he has an exosuit, and later his son rides a hoverboard. Is that the 2005 you remember, Boomer?
No. 2005 I remember was... that was depressing. That was the 6th console generation coming to a close, wasn't it?
Yeah, because the PS3 and Xbox 360 were announced at that time.
Yeah, I know. And I really liked that generation. And then we got kind of a dull generation. And
yeah,
things have gotten better recently. I think they're a little better. At least, I don't know
I
about
have
now.
A tower of PS2 games right here behind me.
Oh, yeah.
That's only because I don't have a shelf to put them all on.
Love the PS2, love the GameCube. Probably would have liked the Xbox, but the original, but I didn't have one. But I had one of the tapes. I remember I had one of the tapes.
The Soundwaves cassette tape.
Yeah, I don't know which one it was. It was because there was an evil version of that too, right? Yeah.
You can tell this movie was made in the 80s because Soundwave turns into a boombox still, even though they're in 2005.
We need to bring the boombox back.
Yeah.
Like we've lost technology. Yeah. Young man here. Okay, sometimes some of the older technology was pretty cool, and
I know about some stuff before what we all have now.
Yeah,
I did have multiple VHS tapes when I was younger.
Well, VHS. Go ahead.
Because I had 2 copies of the original Star Wars trilogy, and I had Transformers Armada on VHS as well. Although they ended up breaking, and I had to throw them, so I don't have them anymore.
Yeah, well, I don't.
Oh, joy! Here's the traumatizing part of the film.
Yeah.
This is a pretty harsh song for a kids movie in 1986.
Yeah, and the song isn't just included because it's a popular band or anything like that. The song actually matches the scene.
Yeah,
because the song's called "Instruments of Destruction," and that's exactly what the Decepticons are in this scene.
It's weird.
I've got nothing against Linkin Park, but if the only reason I'm watching a movie is so I can hear Linkin Park at the end, I'll just not watch the movie and or just listen to the song on YouTube or something like that.
Well, it's kind of like the way heavy metal, how a lot of the songs in that are kind of depicting what's going on screen too. Yeah.
It was the 80s.
Yep.
Okay, even though I wasn't a kid when I saw the original cartoon in this movie, it still kind of unnerves me seeing Prowl's like die slowly. You know, his like smoke come out his mouth and eyes.
And yeah, headshot to Ironhide from.
Oh yeah.
So, how many characters get killed in this movie that were on the show? Like a lot, or
a lot?
Not all of them. A couple of like first and second year toys that were like. Some of them were discontinued, and that's why they're being killed off in this film.
Huh.
But some of them were actually still being sold after this film. That's why some characters appear in like season 3 after the movie.
So, who was your favorite Transformer, Daniel?
Megatron.
Really, the villain?
Yeah.
What about you, Matthew?
I would probably go with. You know, it's hard to say because there are multiple characters I like. I like Hot Rod, who's introduced in this film, and I also like his evolved form of Rodimus Prime. I also like Prowl as well. Although I do also like Cliffjumper as well, who is also in this film, but he's one of the figures that is discontinued later on and sort of just phased out of the show. And also because the voice actor for Cliffjumper protest because of racist depictions of Middle Easterns. Apparently, I don't know if that's actually what happened in season 3.
Oh, I don't remember. I didn't watch the show.
Oh, hey, a hoverboard. What is that, like a whole 3 years before Back to the Future Part 2?
Yeah.
So, Daniel, what's your favorite of the songs in this film?
Ooh.
I do really like Dare.
Probably Dare. Yeah.
I do also like The Touch as well.
Yeah, is that the You've Got the Touch?
Yeah.
Yeah. You got the power.
A lot of 80s power ballads in this. It's interesting.
Yeah. I know some people would call The Touch like Optimus's theme, but considering it plays twice in this movie, once for when Optimus is here, and then a second time when Hot Rod turns into Rodimus Prime. So I like to think of that song more as like a song for primes in general, rather than just specifically Optimus.
Yeah, kind of like a leadership theme, sort of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I find it funny that at this moment, as Hot Rod's firing at the shuttle, when you see the yellow transformer down at the bottom of the canyon, that's a character Sunstreaker. That's technically an animation error because Sunstreaker's technically not on Earth right now. He's like on Cybertron. Because Sunstreaker appears on the same shuttle as Optimus that's coming to Earth in a later scene. Although multiple instances of like animation errors have kind of been fixed or made a little more clear in later versions of Transformers where they've introduced new characters to kind of explain away. Like that one yellow Transformer that we saw that looked like Sunstreaker. They've actually released a figure of another character who's been colored yellow, and he's called Tiger Tracks. And everyone's just kind of gone with the idea that yellow orb here on Earth is Tiger Tracks rather than Sunstreaker. Even though the character there was very clearly Sunstreaker rather than anyone. Actually, I think Sunstreaker and Sideswipe were the same mold. They were just colored different.
Were they brothers in the original line?
Yeah, Sunstreaker and Sideswipe were brothers. Yeah, that's another thing to understand about Transformers is there is a lot of repaints of already existing figures.
It's the fast guy.
Yeah, blah.
I was trying to follow what he was saying. I'm like, what? Who's the chick?
RC.
Yeah. Oh yeah. The actual voice actor for RC, Susan Blue, she actually is as an animation director. She actually was the animation director for Beast Wars later on in the 90s.
Look at this. Boom. All right.
Of course, Starscream, who's voiced by Cobra Commander.
Yeah. I mean, there was an episode of season 3 where a character that is very clearly Cobra Commander appears, but he's not called Cobra Commander, he's called Old Snake.
Now, I have a question. The first 2 seasons of the show, are the Decepticons always attacking Autobot City, or is this like a big deal that they're hitting it now?
Yeah, this is a big deal that they're attacking it now.
Okay.
Autobot City wasn't actually a thing in the original first 2 seasons of the cartoon. Because it was, Autobot City was constructed like in between the movie and the second season. Yeah, there was a 1-episode Japanese episode called Scramble City that kind of explained kind of filled in the gap between the two.
Right.
Actually, the Blu-ray I have here actually has the Scramble City episode on it as an extra, and it has an episode of Beast Wars. I don't know why.
Look at this, they're eating it.
I don't know why they're not turning into a giant swarm of Insecticons, because that's something they could do.
I did want to inform the chat at the end of the month, I believe there is a 35th anniversary Blu-ray coming out.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's already out.
Well, maybe it is over on your side of the pond, but over here I think it's coming out in the end of September. There was a 30th anniversary already edition over here, but now they're doing a 35th.
Yeah, I bought the DVD for the 30th anniversary, I think a day or two ago.
Right.
That will arrive soon, but
Gotcha.
not yet. I have also noticed that in this film, the only Combiner team we see are the Constructicons, even though there are multiple other Combiner teams. Because there's 2 Autobot Combiner teams and then 2 more Decepticon Combiner teams. Because there's Menasor and Bruticus, and then the Autobots have Superion and Defensor. I don't know why they're not in this film at all.
Are the Predacons not considered a Combiner team?
They don't appear until season 3. They don't appear in this film.
Okay.
And there's I know that the character Skyfire, I know I know the reason he's not in this film, and that's because the toy that Hasbro used to make Skyfire was owned by a rival company to Takara.
It was the Veritech fighter from Robotech.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was an awesome toy. Did you have Jetfire?
I do not have a Jetfire. I don't have any Jetfire.
So my Jetfire was stolen, and if I ever find the person that stole Jetfire, we're gonna have a talk. So, if you're watching tonight and you stole my Jetfire, come on over. We need to chit chat.
Yeah. There's all kind of legal reasons why a character like Jetfire doesn't appear in the show much, and also doesn't appear in this movie. So actually, there were multiple Transformers that Hasbro took, right? Wait, say that again.
In the cartoon, they changed it to Skyfire, and he looked horrible.
Yeah, they changed the animation model and changed his name because of the aforementioned legal problems that they ran into when importing that figure.
How come there aren't more? I have a question. Are all the Transformers and Decepticons usually male, and is the female an odd one, or is it
yeah?
Okay. No, there are other female Autobots.
Okay.
Because there was a season 2 episode that actually introduced a whole group of female Autobots.
All right.
Yeah, RC's not the first.
Gotcha.
So you can't quite make the joke that the only female Autobot is a pink Transformer. because there are like red and blue.
Gotcha. Okay, I gotcha.
They were introduced before RC. I think it's just RC's the most notable, or the most easily probably the most iconic one to think of.
I got a joke. Are there any transgender formers?
You know what? Give it time, Daniel.
I think the IDW version of RC was male when she was first introduced in the IDW comics, and then she was put through like a forced sex change or something like that.
Uh-oh.
I haven't read much of the IDW comics, so I don't know whether that was like a woke thing or if they just decided that.
For some reason, watching.
Oh, go ahead, Boomer. Go ahead.
I was watching this and I was thinking that a bunch of moms were taking their young sons to see this, and thus the soccer mom was born, because I imagine like a typical like PTA mom would hate this movie with a passion. It's all just shooting and violence and stuff, right? It's like,
yeah, like back in the mid '80s, you didn't want your kids to see violence on TV.
Yeah.
And now you get a cell phone with.
Wait, isn't that why Captain Planet was made?
Oh.
Wait, was Captain Planet during the 80s, or was that
either
late 80s, early 90s?
Yeah, I see it was more as a 90s character, but yeah, it could have been 80s. I don't remember.
Yeah.
Here we go. Here I had a Dinobot. See, I'm very proud. I had like 2 Transformers, and I had a GoBot that my aunt gave me, which I don't know. It transformed, kind of.
Yeah.
Okay, so
I mean, that was the whole point of GoBots, is that they could transform. Obviously, they were the cartoon didn't actually alter the way the toy looked in any way. I think the GoBots were also cheaper, weren't they?
Probably.
Yeah.
A GoBot is what you got from your aunt who you didn't like and who didn't like you.
Well, no, here's the thing.
Yeah, look, there's Sunstreaker.
I wasn't even into those toys at the time, so I didn't know any better. I'm like, okay. It's like, I was a weird kid. I was into Universal Monsters and stuff. That was my big thing. Oh, here we go. Oh!
Yeah, fun fact. Every Decepticon that Optimus shoots in this scene, he doesn't actually kill them. We actually do see them running away in the later part of the scene. I do find that funny that he just rams right into Frost.
One shall stand, one shall fall.
Oh, am I behind by a few minutes?
That could have been oh, really?
Yeah, I'm at the point when okay, now I'm at the point when Optimus and Megatron are confronting each other. They're not actually fighting just yet. They're like,
I think you're like 30 seconds behind me, maybe, or something.
Yeah.
So Boomer.
Maybe I'm ahead. I don't know. What?
Boomer.
Okay, Megatron's just tackled Optimus.
To this song and dance around your house in your underwear? I'm sure you do, right?
What song is this? Because I got the captions on right now. You got the touch. Is that the song?
Yeah.
No, I don't. No. I don't listen to 80s power ballads, dude. I'm more likely to listen to "Dare to Be Stupid" than any other song in this movie, because I had that on an LP. I had that. I think that the album was called "Dare to Be Stupid." Actually, that Al Yankovic released.
Have you listened
back
to the
day.
other Weird Al songs?
I have. They were off and on. I had some of them on cassette, and I had that one on vinyl, the "Dare to Be Stupid" one, and I think I bought a collection of his a few years back. It was. Bought it used off eBay, but it had like a best of tracks, but on 4 different CDs. So it didn't have a Nature Trail to Hell though, so I wasn't happy about that. But I had a lot of the other stuff on it in 3D. Nature Trail to Hell in 3D. That was the song. It was No More Optimus Prime, and I bet the kids in the theater, they're like saying, "No, he's gonna. There's a gun right in front."
I don't understand why Megatron just didn't put a cap in Rodimus Prime's head right then and there.
I mean, he's not Rodimus Prime, but he's still Hot Rod right now.
Right.
He's young and doesn't fully understand. Hot Rod is basically just an 80s teenager.
It's a good way to think about it. Yeah.
You know, it's funny in this movie. He fires like lasers from the exhaust of his car mode, like that are on his arms. But the actual G1 toy actually packed in actual guns with his figure. In fact, he never used guns whatsoever in the show. He would always fire from the exhaust on his arms.
Huh.
I mean, the Masterpiece toy that's right here behind me literally came with guns.
Really? But the show.
Yeah, behind me, it's got the dual wielding guns there.
Oh, he kicks him when he's down. Was that scene censored in the British version, I wonder?
No, that was perfectly fine. I think the only thing that was censored was Spike swearing later on.
Okay. Because they said that in Evil Dead 2, when the one guy is kicking Ash when he's down, they said that was cut out of the British version. They said because you don't kick a man when he's down over in England, which I thought was funny.
That sounds like a weird thing to censor.
I know, but apparently that was a forbidden thing back then. That was like, no, you don't kick a man when he's down.
Yeah, look, there's all the Decepticons that Optimus shot earlier. Thrust, Ramjet, Dirge, the Insecticons, Soundwave. Literally every single Decepticon Optimus shot a few minutes ago, you can see them in this scene running away. And some of them aren't exactly like they're all alive, but none of them are. One or two of them are perfectly fine, and then some of the others are a little more damaged, but they're all alive.
Oh,
prepare to be traumatized 2.0.
When you saw this, were you traumatized, Daniel?
No, because I knew everything that was going to happen because someone at school told me.
Oh, kids on the bus.
And I just mind that back in the day. It's like, tell me what happens. Tell me what happens.
Yeah. Now I think about the Matrix of Leadership is kind of like Excalibur in a way. Because when Optimus drops it and Hot Rod catches it, you see a glow around him, but he gives it to Ultra Magnus, who it has no effect on whatsoever. It's like the Matrix is clearly choosing Hot Rod, or signaling that it's choosing Hot Rod as worthy.
Didn't one of the newer Transformers movies feature Excalibur?
Which one was that? Yeah, I think it was one of the newer ones.
Yeah, Anthony Hopkins.
I mean, there was a G1 episode where a couple Autobots and Decepticons were accidentally thrown back in time to like medieval England.
Huh.
And Starscream proclaimed himself ruler of a castle. Simply because he was bigger than all the other humans there, and he could pick them up and throw them around as much as he wanted.
Oh, Melissa Harris saying there was a Transformers that turned into a gun, huh?
That was Megatron. And Shockwave. And Six Shot.
And Galvatron.
Galvatron's toy had a gun mode. Like an actual handheld gun mode.
What?
Obviously, his primary mode in the actual cartoon is cannon, but they did actually have him be a triple changer, so he could turn into a cannon and a gun. I think the Marvel UK comics were the only time we actually saw Galvatron turn into an actual handheld gun.
I'll say this: back in the day, I took Megatron to school like every day and used him in gun mode on the playground every day at recess, and nothing bad ever happened. Just saying.
Yeah, but because of gun laws nowadays, you can't actually make a toy that looks like a realistic gun.
Yep.
And any Transformer that is released now that has like a gun mode as one of its alternate modes, Hasbro can't actually advertise it as turning into a gun. So what they do instead is they rotate it upside down and say it's a submarine.
Huh.
Hold on, I have one here.
So
Six Shot. He can turn into a gun. But what they do is they do that, turn it upside down, and say it's a submarine.
It's a submarine.
Like,
little boys know.
Definitely not a gun. It's a submarine.
Little boys
Even though it looks nothing like a real gun. Like, have you seen a real gun that looks like this?
No.
I don't have one.
Maybe in Demolition Man. I don't like when he fight. Where are all the phaser guns? Remember, he was.
Yeah. Okay, this scene makes. I don't understand this. Like, Astro Train says to like loosen some weight so he can get to Cybertron faster, but like they're in space, weight shouldn't matter.
Yeah, you got a point.
I think that's just Astro Train taking the opportunity to try and like take advantage of the situation that he's in. Because I know that Astro Train was one of the Decepticons who would try and claim leadership of the Decepticons when he got the opportunity.
Yeah, wasn't he kicking him? I nominate myself as the new leader.
Yeah, and we also get a moment of confusing physics, because Astro Train can turn into the size of a train, but he's big enough to carry all of them in their robot mode, and they're like far bigger than a train. And then they can also combine into an even bigger robot that somehow also still fits inside there.
Yes, size shifting in Transformers is quite the feat.
Yeah, the scaling on the scaling in these cartoons makes no sense whatsoever.
How many tapes can he keep stored in them?
However many the plot requires.
How many could the actual toy keep stored?
One.
Yeah, one. There was a Japanese version of Soundwave that was called Sound Blaster that was modified so it can hold two cassette cases. Well, so it could hold 2 cassettes.
They're all getting sucked into Unicron now, right?
Yeah. The giant butthole in space.
Yeah, Orson Welles did this pretty much on his deathbed via telephone.
Yeah, because this was the last film he was in.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure he died before the film actually came out, didn't he?
He did. Yeah.
He didn't get to see it.
No. He gave an interview and he said he was playing some kind of toy. That was his understanding of it.
Well, he's not necessarily wrong.
Yeah. Even though a toy of Unicron wasn't even made back in the 80s.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah, they draw up plans to actually make a Unicron toy, but it didn't work out, so they decided not to make the toy of him. I mean, a toy of Unicron has been made since then, but back in the 80s.
How big is it?
How big is it? It's like
there was one before that from the show Transformers Armada. That was a bit smaller than the most recent one.
Did you get the HasLab Unicron?
No, I don't have nearly enough money for that.
Yeah,
but that thing cost like £600.
I know.
I don't have nearly that amount. And also, the window for me to actually buy it has long since passed, so I'm more than likely never going to be able to get that one.
They're going for like 1,800 plus on eBay.
Yeah, that's probably scalpers. Yeah, that's another thing with Transformers is you have to deal with scalpers sometimes when you want to collect the older toys, especially if they're highly sought after toys.
What's a Jetfire going to cost me?
Depends. There's like multiple versions of Jetfire.
Oh, like the original Jetfire.
No, the G1 Jetfire.
Yeah.
Hasbro might have reissued that at some point. I don't know. I know they reissued a G1 Optimus Prime a while ago.
But you didn't have a trailer.
Yeah, I think the most recent one left out the trailer.
Yeah, it's like, what's the point?
Yeah, I have no idea why they did that.
So, did the toys come out to coincide with this new movie, the new toys?
Yeah, that was the reason this movie was made, to advertise the new toys that were coming out at the time. And that's also why the multiple characters die in this movie, is because they're also clearing out some of the already existing characters to make room for the new ones.
So, Unicron talks about the Matrix, right? What's the Matrix?
That's the thing that was inside Optimus's chest that he took out and then Hot Rod caught and gave.
Why is he afraid of it though?
Because it can kill him. And as he said, it's the only thing that can kill him. In fact, the Marvel UK comic even delved a little further into like what the Matrix is, where it comes from, and why it can kill Unicron. I think I have the trade paperbacks for both the Marvel UK comics and the Marvel US comics. Although IDW stopped printing the collections of the UK comics, there was meant to be a volume 6, but they discontinued it for some reason. So now there's a whole bunch of UK stories that I just don't have because I can't get a hold of.
Those gold statues, are those like the previous Decepticon leaders?
Not sure. That one on the very end kind of looks like a mini Unicron. You know, the one on the very end with the wings and the horns? That kind of looks like a mini version of Unicron's robot mode. It's hard to tell. The other ones are not quite as visible to actually probably get an idea of what they look like.
And I was fine with Starscream dying because I was never a Starscream fan.
What about when he came back as a ghost in season 3?
That irritated me when they kept bringing people back in the third season. Like, here's Optimus Prime again.
They didn't bring back
now
everyone.
Oh, here's Optimus Prime. I'm like, can people just die and you killed them? They're dead.
I mean, some of the characters did actually stay dead.
Were there a lot of people who are fans of the Starscream?
Yeah, he was one of the most popular Transformers characters.
Why'd they kill him off then?
Because his toy was discontinued at the time.
Huh.
Except because of his popularity, they'd then brought him back in season 3 as a ghost. I mean, hell, he even made a reappearance in Beast Wars, where his ghost possessed one of the Predacons of that show. And there was even a weird part where Starscream's ghost, in like one of the Japanese manga for Transformers, had Starscream's ghost possess a young girl while she was on the toilet, and then he had her walk out, and then he didn't realize that she didn't pull her underwear up because he doesn't understand human customs. So he was laughed at for that. Yeah, Japanese Transformers can get really weird sometimes.
And Sound Engraver's in the house. Welcome, Sound Engraver. So you say you moved. I hope everything went well with the moving, and you're settling into the new place.
Hello.
Hello. So he's eating the Unicron just eats planets, huh?
He's hungry.
Yep. It's the only thing that can fuel him. Think of him as an even bigger Galactus.
Yeah. Is anybody getting the HasLab Galactus? I think today's the last day.
Yeah, I don't know about that one. I would very much like some of the figures that are coming with that figure, but I have a feeling Hasbro they're probably not gonna re-release some of the individual figures that come with Galactus as like separate releases. Although they might. I have no idea.
You know, my problem with HasLab is you have to pay like a year and a half out for the whole thing.
Yeah.
I'm like, if you would just give me a payment plan. Give me a payment plan so I can give you my money. You know, It's hard. Like, here's $600, Boomer. But if you're like, hey, you give me $50 a month for like a year, I'm cool with that. That's easy. That's easy. But just handing over $600 at one time, then I gotta wait a year and a half to get my toy. I mean, my adult collectible item.
Oh, here comes the swear word.
See,
I might be slightly behind, but here it comes.
No, we just got it. We just got it.
Indented. Oh shit! What are we gonna do now?
I found it hard to follow everything that was going on in this movie. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah.
They end up on other planets.
I mean, this movie's story is self-contained within itself. Obviously, you do kind of need some knowledge from seasons 1 and 2, specifically of the individual characters that are that appear in this. Well, apart from the characters that appear for the first time in this movie. Actually, the new characters in this movie were actually designed in the reverse of how Transformers normally made, because it's normally the toy is made first, and then the animation model for the cartoon is then drawn based on the toy. But for this movie, they went the other way around. the designs for the animation model for the characters were designed first, and then the toys were based on that.
When did the Dinobots show up?
They were right there in the background. Grimlock was literally right there in the shot.
I meant on the series.
That was second wave of Gen 1, wasn't it?
Yes, it's either the first season or the second season. Probably the first season.
So Galvatron is voiced by Leonard Nimoy, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
Galvatron shows up on the show after this, correct?
Correct. Yes, but he's not voiced by Leonard Nimoy on the show. He's voiced by Frank Welker.
Okay.
Because Frank Welker voices Megatron in the show and this movie, and then in season 3, Frank Welker returns to voice Galvatron. You know, it's funny because Frank Welker doesn't voice just Megatron; he also voices Soundwave, and I think a few other characters. I forget which specific names. It will say at the end of the credits anyway.
Don't be messing with them dinos, huh?
I do love this bit. They're just refusing to get on the ship because they want to actually fight the Decepticons that are there.
Yeah, well, you know.
And of course, all of the Dinobots can breathe fire.
That's cool.
I mean, what's the best thing for a child? A robot that turns into a dinosaur that can then also breathe fire.
Yeah. What else do you want? Yes. Come on.
Yeah.
Hey, Wolfton Mina in the house. How are you, Wolfie?
Hey, Wolfie.
He's got a lasso.
Doesn't everybody have a lasso?
I don't know. I don't live in Texas.
Oh, I don't have to live in Texas to have a lasso.
What?
You don't have to live in Texas to have a lasso.
Really?
Yeah.
They have them where
you
you are?
Never had a lasso growing up, Boomer.
No.
Boomer.
No.
Boomer.
Yeah.
You never.
No.
I mean, I know I like cowboys.
They don't have no lassos in New Jersey. Come on.
I do like that. Grimlock just wants to hear Cup's old war stories.
I like that.
Yeah.
I have a question, okay?
Yeah.
There are other planets with other robots on them, right?
Yes.
Where are all these robots coming from? Just like the intelligence of the civilization create the robots, and then the robots outlast the civilization. Is that the explanation, or what's going on here?
There are different explanations from each of the different Transformers continuities. G1 didn't really give an explanation as to why there were other planets of living robots. I think the assumption is that they're Cybertronian colony worlds. Although later Transformers continuities do actually establish the existence of other colony worlds. Like what is it? Velocitron is one colony world that's been introduced.
Okay.
Actually, later in season 4 of the show, even though it's not an actual season, it's just like 3 episodes. And also the Japanese continuity does actually establish colony worlds within the G1. I think in Headmasters the colony world is called Planet Master, and then for the Micromasters the planet is called Planet Micro. It's very original.
He's gonna tell a story.
Actually, in the Marvel comic, Grimlock was actually Orbot leader for a while. Or specifically the US comic.
Huh. So do you like what is it? Is it Hot Rod?
Yes, Hot Rod.
Cool.
Yeah, I have 2 Hot Rods behind me. This masterpiece, and then this Power of the Primes. This one can go from Hot Rod into Rodimus Prime.
So where's Bumblebee in this movie?
He was shown earlier with Spike when Unicron attacked one of Cybertron's moons.
I see. Okay.
It's funny because Bumblebee was actually the kid appeal character of the franchise or obviously in more modern times he's more prominently the kid appeal character.
So, Dad, you have the VHS for this?
Yeah.
What movies did they show previews for before this movie started?
I don't remember what I wore yesterday. So
okay, all right. I don't know. I'm just was like the Care Bears movie like a preview you got before that.
Wait, did that movie come out before Transformers?
I don't know. I don't know.
I know there was a My Little Pony movie that came out around the same time, and it also bombed. But they kind of blamed that on the distribution company, DeLintris Entertainment Group. It was an up and coming company, and they didn't have.
I mean, this movie technically, movie technically is the reason the cartoon, the cartoon itself ended up ending a year later, because obviously a whole bunch of kids were traumatized by their favorite characters dying in this movie, and then they either didn't like the new characters or just had a bad experience, so they didn't watch the season 3. So season 3 ended up doing slightly poorly than the other season. It also didn't help that Toei Animation didn't animate season 3. They got a different company that hadn't animated cartoons before. What? So season 3 had incredibly shaky quality in terms of animation.
Oh. Which kind of
I mean the G1 cartoon already was kind of bizarre, and it had a whole bunch of animation errors, but season 3 had the most animation errors and problems out of the whole show. Then it resulted in season 4 only being 3 episodes. Although in Japan the show did actually last a couple of years. They did actually make a few more shows in Japan. Well, there is one ironic part about this movie. It was animated by Toei Animation in Japan, but Japan didn't get this movie the year that this film came out in America, because Japan instead, they got this movie in the early 90s.
What?
They still got season 3, and then the other Japanese shows came out after this. The only reason that Japanese fans or Transformers fans were able to know what was going on in this movie is because there was magazines that basically told the story of this movie.
Yikes! So they didn't get it. Weird how it took so long for them to get it over there.
I have no idea why. The ironic part is it was animated in Japan, so I don't know why they didn't get it. And
no, I mean this. If you watch this movie, I mean I'm a aficionado of a lot of Japanese animation. This has a very 80s Japanese animation look, very detailed, but a lot of the times they always think, oh, Japanese anime character have those huge eyes. Well, not always. I mean, the guys in this don't have huge eyes, okay, but they do look like characters from anime. I mean, it looks like the kid almost looks like a younger version of Amuro Ray, you know. I mean,
I mean the first 2 seasons of the G1 cartoon were also animated by Toei Animation. It's funny because the Headmasters looks more in line with the way this looks, and then the second and third Japanese Transformers shows looked a lot more anime than this does.
Well, they probably weren't having to target it toward an American audience at that point.
Yeah, because the Japanese shows didn't come out in the West.
Actually, they really didn't. Yeah.
There was an English dub of the Japanese Transformers anime shows, but they were dubbed into English by a Chinese company.
Oh no!
the English dubs are hilariously awful.
Oh,
I would recommend watching some of the dubbed version of Headmasters. It's bad, but it's hilarious. It's enjoyably bad.
Now these underwater scenes are pretty well done, I think. Right? I mean, this is
I mean, they technically don't need to do much. They just need to animate the bubbles and then have the image itself be kind of have a filter over the whole image to make it look like it's underwater. Because I think if you make this scene look, if you get rid of the filter over the whole scene and then to get rid of the bubbles, then you probably won't even know it's underwater.
Right. I mean, yeah. I mean, I'm thinking of the 1980s anime film Lensman a lot when I'm watching this because of all these space scenes. But
yeah,
which was also, oddly enough, that was a Japanese attempt to animate an American series of novels that kind of fell a little flat, but it was amazing to look at. But it's on YouTube somewhere illegally if you want to catch it. But,
yeah. I think what Wolf 10 is referring to here in his comment is, I don't recall any version of the movie having like 3D overlays, but I do remember the actual show itself being like re-aired and having 3D animated transitions, and it was dubbed Generation 2.
Huh.
Like to coincide with the Generation 2 Toyland that came out in the early 90s. Yeah, because the Transformers popularity was starting to fade in the late 80s, Hasbro just resorted to basically any tactic they could think of to keep it alive. Because like after this, you have Headmasters, where characters where their head comes off and transforms, and you got Target Masters where their gun can transform into a small person as well. Then you got like Power Masters, where you got like a small person that turns into an engine and can plug into the Transformer to unlock their ability to transform.
Huh.
And then I think after that you had then the Micro Masters, because they were competing with Micro Change at the time. Then obviously they started going into Generation 2, which was mostly just G1 figures that were repainted with bizarre 90s colors. I mean, hell, there's a UK exclusive Generation 2 Thundercracker who's basically just his color scheme is just a rainbow. It's very strange.
Thank you for stopping by, Sound Engraver. Hope the unpacking goes well. I haven't had to unpack in like 16, 17 years. So
we're glad your journey ended safe, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see though. Yes, Chris P, I have seen Lensman. That was a regular on the Sci-Fi Channel, but you can't get it on DVD over here. The estate hates it. The E. Doc Smith estate hates that movie, so we'll never see it again. But yeah, Transformers. I'm trying to think. I remember when this came out, but this bombed. I take it, huh? Is that what you guys were saying?
Yeah, it did.
Yeah. Budget was 5.8. Box office
then resulted in the next season doing poorly, and then it's kind of a downward slope basically from this movie, or in terms of the stuff being sold at least.
It's weird because I remember when I was a kid, the Transformers were big, He-Man was big, and G.I. Joe. Those are like the three big ones. And then later on, if you want to count these Turtles, the Turtles toys were big too, but that was later, right?
They started in the late 80s, didn't they?
Yeah, so
kind of
that's quite this period.
90s.
Yes, I don't know if that's quite this period. Probably not. Yeah.
Yeah. I dare to say Transformers was possibly the biggest of the 80s cartoon or kids cartoons of the day.
Right. May have been, yeah.
Yeah, because there were a whole bunch of other toy lines that featured transforming robots to try and compete with Transformers, like GoBots.
It's weird. I didn't get into any three of them. It was weird back in the day. I got those like those hologram figures. You ever see those like with the holograms? But
I'm not 100% sure what
you don't know what I'm talking about. It's okay. It's okay.
I'm pretty sure. I'm going to assume hologram figures is like an 80s thing.
Yeah,
because I have not seen any modern toys.
Not Visionaries, the other ones.
Micronauts,
maybe? Are you?
The ones where like the whole figure was like a hologram, you know, like a big portion of the figure was not like Visionaries, just like on the chest, right, where the hologram was.
Yeah, that's just on the chest. Yeah, I have no idea. I have no idea what.
Never mind. Whatever.
I haven't like experienced every single 80s toy line because there was a lot of them.
Hologram. I will find out. Go chat amongst yourselves. Okay, well,
yeah.
Matthew, do you like the Quintessons at all?
Yeah, I like them. I like that it adds like a third faction to the whole dynamic. You know, because you have Autobots, Decepticons, and then you have the third edition of Quintessons. Kind of varies things out a bit.
Oh, I think
could get repetitive if you just have Autobots versus Decepticons all the time. If you just include a third faction, kind of vary that.
I found them. They were made by Tonka. Remember Tonka trucks? They had a toy line called Supernaturals, and they were holograms. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, I've never heard of that.
Okay. Well, never mind then. Okay, I had those.
Yeah.
they like. You know,
do you think this courtroom? Do you think this courtroom scene was inspired by YouTube's treatment of all the content creators on their platform?
Probably.
Because you just have the person standing in the middle above Sharktacons, and then they're voted in guilty or innocent, and regardless of what the quintessence says, they're dunked into the water with the Sharktacons.
Well, no, I almost think that they just throw the innocent people in there, because it's
actually, regardless of whether they say guilty or innocent, the person in question is dumped into the tank with the Sharktacons.
Is he like the last survivor of his home world, and they're going to dunk him in there to
clean
up? That's pretty cold.
Yeah, that's the. I think he's called Kranix, I believe. I think I'm pronouncing that correctly. Yeah, he's the same guy who was talking at the very beginning when Unicron attacked his planet. What do you think of the Sharktacons, Boomer?
At first I thought they were like those robot fish things we were seeing earlier, and then it turns out though they look like regular Transformers underneath, but they eat other robots. Is that their thing?
Yeah,
that's kind of harsh.
Yeah. It's funny.
Really, a baloney? Oh.
Yeah, the Triceratops Transformer. In the original cartoon and this movie, his name is Slag. Now, obviously, in America, that probably doesn't sound like much of a problem, but over here, the word slag has a different meaning.
Right.
It actually has two meanings, because there's the meaning that there's the definition of slag in America being waste metal, and that means the same thing here. But there's the second meaning of a woman who sleeps with a lot of men. That's what. It's a derogatory term over here.
Oh, we have something like that, but it's a different
Yeah.
It's similar word, but it's not that. But yeah, okay.
Yeah.
What's the word? Because
it has a K in it and an ank. Okay, and an S in the beginning. There you go. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why Hasbro doesn't actually refer to the character as Slag anymore. They call him Slug instead.
That makes so much sense. He looks like a slug.
Yeah, I'm still gonna refer to him as the original name they gave him back in the 80s, though, even if it does mean something different over here.
I don't think Unicron's a good boss.
I mean, would you prefer working with someone else if your boss literally tortures you if you don't do things correctly?
It's ridiculous, man. It's like, go destroy can the Matrix even be destroyed?
That's a good question.
I don't think it necessarily can be.
Okay,
there is an episode of Beast Wars where a thing that looks like the Matrix is destroyed, but I think that's just like a false, a false image, or not actually really the Matrix. But apart from that, I've never seen the Matrix actually be destroyed.
I have a question. That
Yeah.
that suit the kid's wearing, okay, the Transformer suit. Did someone attempt to make a life-size toy of that to sell, and then something went horribly wrong during the testing? I want to know.
No, I don't think
over in
so.
Japan, they were gonna. Every kid's gonna want one of these for Christmas. They could turn themselves into a car, and then something horrible happens to whoever they're testing it on. I don't know.
I'm pretty sure his arms and legs aren't actually in the arms and legs of the robot. I think it's just a small compartment that the legs and arms are attached to that he's in.
I mean, think about it. When you were a kid, would you like to have one of those, zipping around, transforming?
That would be cool. What do you think of the design of the Junkions on this planet?
Oh man, it's they're funny.
And
Eric
the
Idle.
leader
Eric
has
Idle.
cannons for nipples. He literally has cannons on the front of his chest where his nipple, where like a nipples would be.
Yep.
Do you think that was influenced from the Japanese side of things or the American side of things?
Oh, who knows? That's the thing. But what is this? Is this? I don't know if I'd call it an anime. It has a lot of anime aesthetics to it, but it's.
Yeah.
Is it being?
I mean, would you classify anime as like anime? Would it be the where the cartoon was animated or where it was intended? The audience.
Who is the audience intended? But of course, in this case, these things are selling both over here.
Technically, it was made for an American audience.
Then I would argue it
obviously
isn't.
The show itself was imported over into Japan, and they started airing the show.
Then it's not. It's not what we call anime is a term that's losing all its meaning lately. But I wouldn't consider it a Japanese cartoon because it's being made primarily for an American audience, but maybe a hybrid series.
Yeah.
Like Mysterious Cities of Gold was a French production, but it was animated in Japan, but it was made over in France. And that was my favorite 80s cartoon. Yeah. So it has an anime look to it, but it was really made for, I guess the French would argue it was an international audience show, but I don't know.
I do like the 80s anime aesthetic.
Oh yeah, and there's a lot of good stuff. There's a bunch of series of stuff to watch from that period, but
I mean, aside from having the 3 seasons of the G1 cartoon like right there. And then I also have over here on my anime shelf, I have the 3 Japanese shows that were made.
Okay, cool. Yeah, like those probably would be considered anime since they were made primarily for a Japanese audience. So yeah, it's weird. Yeah, I don't know.
And the later Japanese shows have a more distinctly anime look to them.
It's kind of like the like when you get into the Marvel anime was made. I think that was specifically being made as to target a Japanese audience. Then they brought it out.
Do you mean like the X-Men and the Wolverine?
Yeah, anime? I think those were specifically made for a Japanese audience. So I guess you could call those anime, even though they're based on American properties. Yeah. I think. And
then there's also the Batman Ninja, which was also made by Japanese. I don't know which Japanese.
That's a weird one because apparently the English script and the Japanese script are completely different because it's I have yet to listen to the English version. I've only watched it in Japanese, but
yeah.
All right, here are the Sharktacons. What do you think, Daniel, huh?
I never had one, but I always thought they were kind of cute.
Yeah, with the mace tail.
They're like monsters though.
They're like more of those Joe Gagging.
Humpty Dumpties,
I do love Cup's line as they're like coming out, as the Sharktacons are charging at them. He's just like, yeah, there are a lot more of those Joe. I can't forget. Completely forgot the line now. Yeah, I think he's like
execute him. I like the fact this guy gets crushed. He deserves it.
Yeah,
I don't like him.
You know, there's a weird thing with this movie. When Slag knocks down the door and it squashes that Quintesson, and he comes in, he's like, "Excuse me." For some reason, in my mind, I remember it as him saying, "Excuse me, me Slag." I, for some reason, have that line in my memory, even though that doesn't actually happen in the film.
Could it have been in an earlier version that was released and then they cut it later on? Maybe I don't know. It's not in the version I'm watching. Okay, but
unless it's like unless it's a line from like a different part of the film, or maybe a different like an episode of the show, maybe.
That's why I have
no idea where it came from.
The 35th anniversary edition is coming out. They're going to restore that line. No, I don't know.
I am curious what special features the 35th anniversary has.
I don't know.
Because obviously my Blu-ray version here isn't necessarily the first, because it has it has the Japanese exclusive Scramble City episode, an interview with story consultant Flint Dilley, Q&A with the voice of Optimus Prime, 80s TVC and TV spots and theatrical trailer.
Okay, so it looks like this
commentaries and deleted scenes, story or animated storyboards, and then a bonus episode of Beast Wars. But considering soon I'll have beat the complete 3 seasons of Beast Wars, that won't be really necessary to have that necessarily. But I like that it's there at least.
So it looks like the main reason behind this 35th anniversary edition is, I think, to have a 4K edition come out. But I'm trying to see if there are any other
4K
special features.
Ultra HD
Yeah,
version.
you can have 4K, Daniel.
Oh, and also because it's the 35th anniversary of this film. That
Limited
could
edition
possibly be the
steelbook.
reason that they've done that.
All right.
Yeah, there it is. Gun nipples.
Wolfie, what are you talking about? Girdman? Grid?
Oh, he's referring to Gridman. It's a 90s tokusatsu show. Think Power Rangers, basically.
All right, here's the extra.
Although Gridman is different from Power Rangers.
Here's the new stuff that's included, if you'd like to know. Okay, new. Okay, it's a 4K transfer.
Yeah.
Also, new feature-length storyboards, including deleted, alternate, and extended sequences. You get to watch the storyboard version of the movie.
Yeah.
And there's a Fathom Events 30th anniversary featurette, including Stan Bush's acoustic performances of the Touch and Dare. Daniel,
Yeah, interesting.
you get to hear the acoustic versions of those songs. Come on.
This is on Betamax, you say?
You know, it's on the new edition coming out from Shout Factory. You could have gotten a special lithograph with it if you had ordered in advance, but sadly, they are all sold out.
Oh. Well, thanks, Boomer.
Well, the lithograph is. Well, maybe you need to pay more attention when this stuff is being released. Okay.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Well, I was busy. I was busy getting this. Okay.
Okay. Getting what?
So Mondo release of Superman, 78
Superman.
Yeah.
You know what's coming to Blu-ray, don't you? What I'm really excited about? Smallville, the complete series on Blu-ray.
Yeah.
I need to see Erica Duranson in all HD glory. Okay.
I was gonna get you that for Christmas, but I already got your Christmas present.
It's okay. It's okay. I might request it as a birthday present. We'll see for my family. We'll see.
Oh yeah. Right. What do you think of Eric Idle's voice acting in this film?
I'm like, I know that voice. It's a Python. Which Python is? Oh, it's Eric Idle, of course.
Yeah. And he's speaking through like various like TV broadcast clips.
He is. That's how he learned to speak, right?
Yeah.
The television.
Because he even pulls out a small TV from his chest that like is playing different things.
Do they join them for the final assault?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the Junkions do. Yeah, because a ship erects out of the junk of the planet and it like launches with the Quintesson ship.
Were there actual Junkion toys released?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
What do they look like? Junk? Like an old...
They look like Red Guard.
Yeah, they look like mostly how they appear in this movie. Obviously, because when the first draft or the first design for the animation model of the new characters, the toys went into production when those first designs were made, and then later on, before the movie actually while the movie was in production, the designs were then refined more after the toys had already gone in production. So it resulted in the toys looking slightly different from the actual animation models. I mean, probably the most obvious difference is that Galvatron, obviously in this he's purple, but the actual toy is mostly grey with like little bits of purple on him. I think the toy has purple arms and legs, but he's mostly grey.
You're all alive. He lost the Matrix. You weren't worthy to have it if you lost it. Am I wrong?
No, I mean he wasn't worthy because it didn't turn him into a prime, so he's not worthy. Because obviously the Matrix only lit up when Hot Rod was holding it. Yeah, because the Matrix itself has the collective wisdom of all previous primes who have had the Matrix.
I'm so confused. What did you play with as a child again?
What are you talking about?
Well, you didn't do G.I. Joe. You didn't do Transformers. Did you do He-Man?
No.
Yeah, and I think you said GoBots as well.
No, I had a GoBot.
Oh, okay, a GoBot.
You what? Who hates GoBots? Who said that?
Everybody hates GoBots. GoBots are like having cooties. You know,
that's nice.
At some point, but no one talks about it.
This just says you're picking on the poor kids in your class. That's what's going on here. Okay.
Right.
I mean, Hasbro did. I think it was either the early 2000s or it was later than that. Hasbro did release like Transformers figures that were repainted to look like GoBots, and they were actually like there was actually an actual comic book that was released that basically told a story of GoBots crossing over into the Transformers universe. But that was when Hasbro actually got the rights to GoBots. I don't know if they've done anything else with them since, but I don't know. I've not heard anything relating to GoBots from Hasbro in a long time.
What the heck did I play?
That might have been a one-off. Were you expecting this, Boomer, for Unicron to like transform from his planet mode?
I didn't. I was like, whoa. It's like a super robot transformer dude. And is he going to go mess up the Decepticons now? Is that his whole thing?
Yeah, Cybertron itself.
So, you know...
Obviously, this movie doesn't give an explanation as to why necessarily why he attacks Cybertron.
He's fed up with...
I mean, the comic itself does give more of an explanation as to why he would want to attack Cybertron.
So how large is Unicron as a figure in like comparison to the others?
The new one?
Yeah. It's like as big as you.
My guess is the same size as like a 2-year-old, I think.
Oh.
Yeah, I think it's a 2-year-old.
Look at that. He is messing the place up. Look at that.
Yeah. I'm actually surprised the planet didn't go out of orbit when he hit it. I mean, because that's how big he looks next to it. I'm surprised the planet didn't like slowly start drifting away as he hit it. I mean, if He-Man can push a moon, I'm pretty sure Unicron can push Cybertron out of its orbit.
Yeah.
Eat him.
You know, it's weird. At that moment when Unicron ate a couple of Decepticons that were flying at him, I'm pretty sure the animation models were Ramjet, Frost, and Dirge. But the weird thing is those characters actually appear later on in Season 3. I don't know if that's an animation error here in this movie or in Season 3. I'm pretty sure those figures weren't discontinued.
Look, he breathes like, what does he breathe in there? Like green flame, laser? What is that?
I would go with green flame because it kind of does have a flame effect to it. How it's burning in space, I don't know.
Well, you know.
Yeah.
It's just that powerful flame that can burn through space.
I mean, Redgar even mentions like the ship he's flying being flame resistant as well. So I'm gonna assume it was flames. Here, and the ship crashes right into his eye. And now we get to the inside of Unicron, where I'm pretty sure this is basically just a Contra level.
Yeah. Contra, I like Contra.
Yeah. Is that a board game?
No,
what?
It's a... Wait, is it a Mega Drive game or is it a later console?
One of them came out on the Mega Drive, but it was I remember it as primarily NES games. But yeah, you get a Contra collection. It comes with Contra and Super C for the NES, and then it comes with I guess what you call the Mega Drive over there. It has Contra Hardcore. Actually, no, over in your country they called it Probotector, right? Isn't that right?
Don't know. I don't really follow like the Contra games that closely.
Well, if you got a modern console, you can get a collection for it. I don't know if you got a Switch or an Xbox or anything like that, but
no, I have a 360. I don't have an Xbox One, but I do have a 360. Is the only Xbox console I have.
It's not on that.
And I have a PS2 and a PS4. I am still yet to get a hold of.
Oh, it's on the PS4. The Contra collection.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, I have a pile of PS3 games like right here next to me or behind me next to the PS2 games.
Gotcha.
Because that's when I used to have a PS3.
Gotcha.
I still need to get a hold of a PS3 again. They're not exactly the cheapest thing to get a hold of.
Sony's got to get better with that backwards compatibility stuff. I know they're trying to make attempts, but yeah, they got to do better.
Yeah, because I know the PS3 is backwards compatible with the PS1. An early version of it is backwards compatible with the PS2.
PS2, yeah.
PS2 is backwards compatible with the PS1, and then the PS4 is backwards compatible with nothing.
It's why I do like. It's why I do like the Xbox, because Microsoft basically said anything that's working on your Xbox One, whether it was made for the Xbox One or prior, will work on all future iterations of Xbox. So
yeah, because I have a copy of the 360 version of Tekken Tag Tournament 2. Except the case I have, it's one of those like special cases where it has the where it advertises the fact that an Xbox or works on Xbox One as well.
Okay, that means it'll work on all future Xboxes.
Yeah, this.
I had that on PS3 actually, so yeah, I got the PS3 version of that one. Yeah. But look at this. I'm telling you, he reminds me of Amuro Ray from Gundam a little bit. You know
what, Daniel?
Yeah, Daniel, the kid.
Oh, okay. I don't watch.
I don't think
you don't watch Gundam.
I
know you don't watch Gundam. We gotta fix that.
Yeah, I mean, some Transformers do have the visual designs that resemble Gundams.
Wait a minute. Do you have Hulu, Daniel?
I think so.
Oh, you don't have Hulu? Okay. What streaming services you got?
I got the Netflix. I was supposed to have HBO Max, but I can't figure out how to work it.
Oh.
Yeah, I can't get HBO Max to work in this country whatsoever.
No, you need to get HBO Max. I have no idea what it is. There's a ton of movies on there, I think, aren't there? Oh, he's dropping robots and they're screaming as they're burning up and boiling.
I'm pretty sure that's his Unicron's stomach acid.
Oh my goodness.
I mean, it is acid, but they don't necessarily call it stomach acid.
I kept expecting his dad to get dropped in there. I thought that was going to happen. Like he was going to fail. It was all going to be your fault. That is, your dad died. It's like, oh man.
Yeah.
This sounds like yelling at him. Hurry! It's like he's not saying like in a usual would be like, "I love you, son. Don't worry about it. I'm proud of you." And, hurry! I'm going to die.
You're never going to see a young boy be like shown to be at least trying to be heroic in like a modern film.
No, little boys can be a snot.
Yeah.
Are the boys even portrayed nicely in the newer Transformers movies? Or are they also portrayed badly? You know, it's like I don't know.
I don't remember. Like, human characters are kind of they're not super prevalent in modern Transformers. Because obviously most of the times people want to focus on the robots themselves rather than human characters.
I know they had that one that they were doing the whole girl power thing, like, oh, hit like your girl. Remember that whole campaign?
That was the fifth one, I think.
Fifth one, I think, yeah.
Yeah, where it had a young girl, and they were basically going it. Like that was basically Michael Bay trying to pull the whole woke thing.
Yeah.
But I mean, after I saw that movie, that like whole wasn't really that relevant to the overall film.
No,
that was mostly in the marketing.
Say what you want about Michael Bay, he's not woke. he's
Especially some of the films that came out after he did the Transformers films. Actually, I've heard good things about some of the films he made after Transformers.
Well, no, 13 Hours is a great little war movie he did. I would recommend that one, the Benghazi one. That's really good, actually. Yeah.
Okay, how do you choke a robot? I don't think that works like that.
I don't know. I know that with Cybermen on Doctor Who, they would have to plug up one of the ways to kill them was to rub gold on their exhaust port because it suffocated them. That was a big thing back in the day.
Yeah, because they have human brains inside them.
Yeah, like they didn't breathe, but they had to still let stuff out through the exhaust port. If you were to pull that would
because Transformers don't have any organic components inside them whatsoever.
Yeah,
they're all completely mechanical. I mean, they are like actually living beings. With like emotions and like they can actually like feel things when they touch something, and also they also have a soul as well, except that's not added until Beast Wars, but it is there.
Daniel, I'll tell you what my favorite toys growing up were. Okay, the Mad Scientist kits. Do you remember those?
Wow. No.
You don't know what those were?
I imagine it's like you pour this in the water and it goes like woo 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 or something.
No. My ignorant friend here. Okay, the mad scientist kids.
Okay.
You came with these two like creatures that were just bones, and then you would put the skin over them, and then you would put them in water, and they'd be fine. This water tank. Then you would pour the liquid in, and then the flesh would dissolve off them until they were nothing but bone.
That's a pretty
Okay, that sounds very morbid. I kind of want one now.
Yeah, you could find like videos of it on YouTube. And then they had, and you could also put the stuff on them, like freeze them. It was like this freezing gel. Yeah. And then they had another one, which was the alien autopsy kit. Okay, where you got this alien, and like you'd have to put the slime over the guts and seal up, and then you would pull out, and like it's like you're pulling out these gooey organs, and it was like, oh, that was neat. I remember that. I love those toys. The thing, slime was big in the 80s. Toys came with slime. That was the thing. I like the Ghostbusters toys a lot. They were cool. Yeah. The ones for real Ghostbusters used to have those.
Yeah, they were.
Yeah, see, Chris P. remembers the Mad Scientist kids. I think I saw them advertised to me like, I want that for Christmas or my birthday, whatever holiday was going. Like, no. That's what I want. It's like I pointed to that. It's like, I want to dissolve the things in the
which
vat.
alt mode for Hot Rod do you prefer? Do you prefer his Hot Rod or his like retro future car, or do you prefer his like Rodimus Prime Space Winnebago mode?
I think I like the retro future myself, but what do you like, Daniel?
Yeah, because Hot Rod's car mode or base Hot Rod is like retro future car. It's very clearly not like a normal car.
Oh man, was I
maybe
talking about?
Eventually we'll get like retro future cars like that.
Was I talking about Mad Scientist kits during the big finale where it was you got the touch?
Yes. Well, for me, yes. You from my end, you were.
Oh, I'm sorry, Daniel. Why'd you talk about that scene, Daniel? While it's still on, huh? There's like 100 credits on this thing, right? Talk about what did you think of the big finale scene where he's like, you got the touch? Was that surprise you when you were a kid? You were like, do you think they were all gone?
Like,
and then
yeah.
Dude. Now, have they now gotten Cybertron back? Is that what I get from this ending?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because in the start of season 3, the Decepticons have been exiled to a random planet somewhere else. I think it's a planet called Char, I think. And they're like struggling to get Energon, and they're like crawling around the ground, half in robot mode and half in vehicle mode.
Okay. So we have Unicron's severed head about to fly off into the distance, but it freezes there.
It's funny. In the Marvel UK comics, they actually continued on from this, where Unicron's head just floated out into deep space and landed on the Junkion's planet. And then he like used like psychic powers to enslave them and then force them to construct himself a new body.
See, and I was expecting something like that to happen here. I'm thinking, okay, they're freeze framing it, and there's going to be a big stinger after unfreezes after the credits, and no, we just go right to black.
Yeah, although the season 3 of the cartoon did have Unicron still be alive, or his head still be alive, and Starscream's ghost kind of allies with him to try and help him like give himself a body by fusing it with Cybertron itself. But Starscream's like, as soon as he like demands Unicron like restore him back to a living body, so that he can like complete the connection between his head and Cybertron. And when Unicron grants him that, Starscream immediately then just like decides not to do it. He's like, yeah, do it yourself, and then he just flies off now that he has a body again. I do find that funny. I mean, that's perfectly in character for Starscream.
Yeah.
He is a coward who will take any opportunity that he can. I mean, there is one episode where Megatron gets a sore throat and he can't speak, and Starscream is immediately like, Megatron can't speak, I'm the new leader.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, he will literally take any opportunity to claim leadership that he can.
So
and the second Megatron I think there's one episode where he shoots Megatron in the back, but doesn't actually kill Megatron, but he assumes it did. And when he's like standing over Megatron, what he thinks is Megatron's body, Megatron just sort of gets up and kicks him to the floor.
Huh.
And then Starscream immediately turns into a coward because he obviously underestimated Megatron.
So I see under storyboard. Oh, I just saw under storyboard artist. I saw Peter Chung. Is that the Peter Chung that did Aeon Flux later on? I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that. Actually, one of the storyboards that I know about that I've seen is the scene when Ultra Magnus is blown up. In the storyboards, they actually have Ultra Magnus be like where all 4 of his limbs are grappled onto by lasers, and then he's pulled apart.
Huh.
But that storyboard was rejected because apparently it was considered too violent a death.
Okay.
So they instead decided to go with him just be blasted a few times and then blow up.
And then you still see the severed head, right?
What, of Unicron?
Yeah.
Or do you mean of Ultra Magnus?
Oh, Ultra Magnus. Oh, never mind. I'm thinking of something else. Never mind. Okay. I don't know. So, Daniel, how many times did you used to watch this when you were younger? Huh? Is this like get regular play in the VCR?
That would have been like, Temple of Doom and Empire Strikes Back.
What? Yeah. Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Did you own the soundtrack to this on CD? Just out of curiosity to you.
Cassette.
What do you mean cassette? Has this never gotten a release on CD?
It has. But back in the 80s, a friend made me a copy of his cassette, and that's what I had.
No, but now do you have one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Every name that's going past on the credits right now is a Japanese name.
Pretty much, yeah.
I'm literally seeing like painter and key animator and color checker and script continuity. Like all of the names for all these things are just Japanese names with the occasional American name thrown in.
A Sunbow and Marvel production. Is that Marvel Comics? Is that why that keeps popping up there?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Marvel is like a division of Marvel. Like comics.
So are Transformers, should they be in the MCU? Is that what I'm getting from all
no.
this? Okay.
Yeah,
no.
not.
Okay.
Yeah, Hasbro and Marvel are still separate.
Okay.
Well, actually, the Marvel US comic early on did have appearances by Marvel characters, but then later on they decided to just actually go with them being in separate universes. Because you had issue 3 of the US comic had Spider-Man wrapping up Megatron on the cover.
Huh.
And and the Dinobots were discovered in the Savage Land.
I don't know.
Apart from the few minor connections to other Marvel characters, apart from those early issues, the rest of the Marvel comic takes place in its own universe.
So let's see here. Wolf 10 says Peter Chung did Reign the Conqueror and Riddick Dark Fury. I remember those. So what's next week, Daniel? Care Bears movie, huh? What? No. No?
Do you want to?
No.
I do remember watching a Care Bears movie. I don't have a clue which one it was, or it might have been one of the TV shows. I have no idea. All the Care Bears movies and shows look identical to me.
I don't watch that. Care Bears are weak.
Okay. I was thinking, Sir Ian, we still need to get him on for Star Trek 3.
Yeah, I could do Star Trek 3, yeah.
I volunteered myself for Star Trek 5.
Yeah, we got you for Star Trek 5. We got the Omen month for October. And then you got like Thanksgiving month. And then you got Christmas month. And then we're into the next year.
What do you mean Thanksgiving month? There's no Thanksgiving month. There's nowhere we're celebrating Thanksgiving every day. Thanksgiving is on a third day, quickly forgotten on Wednesday evening prior because it's Black Friday weekend. Okay, I'm sorry. Okay. I'm sorry.
I thought we could have a
far away from my birthday now. I think about it.
What? Huh?
Yeah, we're not far away from my birthday now. I think about it.
When's your birthday?
October 20th.
Oh. Really, mine's 15th.
I don't dare to ask how old you're going to be.
I'm pretty sure 26.
Okay. Oh, I miss my 20s. Back in my 20s.
Yeah.
I have Blu-ray, though. I'm happy.
Yeah.
Blu-ray. Anyways, yeah. What do you want to do? Star Trek 3 next week, Daniel? Or you want to check with Syrian first? I guess. Okay.
He said he's good for most anything.
All right.
I'll send him a message tonight.
Gotcha.
And, yeah.
I love Star Trek 3. Star Trek 3 has my favorite spaceship of any movie in it. That is the Klingon bird of prey.
Okay, I thought you were going to mention like the Enterprise of that film.
No, the Enterprise gets messed up in that movie. But no, I love the bird of prey. I'm sorry. Yeah. That's the coolest spaceship I've ever seen. I'm sorry. It's terrifying. It like the wings retract when it. Oh.
No, I don't remember the wings like retracting. I remember in the JJ film, I remember in the JJ film, the birds of prey wings could like fold up and down. But that's about all I remember from those movies. I don't really want to think about them.
I don't want to think about that. Was Into Darkness. That was the worst one too. They really, one thing I said about they're redoing Star Trek. At least we get to have the Klingons as adversaries again. No. They barely use them in Into Darkness, and then I don't even know why they bother.
Wasn't Into Darkness the first time we saw a newer design of a Klingon?
Yeah, and to be fair, I didn't hate that newer design.
Yeah,
I didn't realize at the time
as well.
I didn't realize though that's because it has to be 25% different. Don't even get me started. Yeah. A lot of our woes is due to the fact that all the copyright laws are so screwed up that when people buy these things, they don't actually own them full out. It's just Anyways, how you doing, Daniel?
That's like a complicated question, but I'm okay.
I know that's a very existential. News. What?
Exciting news. This month, I think it's on the 14th, La La Land Records is releasing 2-disc remastered expanded score for James Horner's Glory.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. And they're also doing Elmer Bernstein's Stripes as well. But more importantly, Glory, 2-disc, complete score, James Horner. Remastered.
You're going to yell at me. You're going to yell at me, and you're going to scream at me, but I'm more likely to get the Stripes. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
You and my best friend made the same comment. So
I like Elmer Bernstein's scores, and I have the one for heavy metal. That might be an interesting one to pick up. Actually, I'll think about it.
I'm sure I'll pick up Stripes as well. But Glory,
Glory.
I'm not sure how much of the score is missing from the original release, but I mean that's a done deal right now. You can have my money tonight. No, tonight. Take it tonight.
Take my money.
What?
You're like, take my money.
Take it right now.
When the Futurama thing was like, shut up and take my money.
Well, that was me the other week when Quake finally got re-released, and I'm like, Quake's released. The original Quake is out again. Yes. I did a whole segment on the Geeky Geezers on Sunday. I'm like, Quake is out again.
I know there was a Quake Champions.
I used to play that a few years ago. Original Quake. I don't know if you have the PC version because you get a free upgrade if you have the PC version, but it's available on Xbox, PlayStation 4, Nintendo Switch, and it even comes with the original PC game and all the add-ons plus the new add-on. Plus, there'll be anything fan created will be released over time, and they even included the Nintendo 64 version as the first download. I was very happy. I love these Quake.
I do in fact have Quake. Like a digital copy of the first Quake game.
For what?
On Steam.
Oh no, you should get it up. You should get a free upgrade to this new version. Check it out. I think they said they were giving.
It says right here, update queued.
Update it, and you'll get the new version, and it comes with a whole bunch of extra stuff, and you can even download more packs for it, including the original Nintendo 64 game if you want to see what I was playing on back in the day. My Nintendo 64.
Yeah, because I have the original Doom and Doom 2, Wolfenstein 3D, Shadow Warrior from 1997.
Oh yeah, that's cool.
The first Star Wars Dark Forces game.
Oh, so you got a lot of the old school series, but yeah, it's cool. They give you the update for free for Quake.
Classic FPSs or 90s FPSs.
You'll get
or Doom clones as they were once called.
Yeah, you'll get a kick out of this re-release. They've done a masterful job of it, and it's really cool.
Wait, was it Doom? No, Doom. Was it Quake 3 where they had that as like an arena shooter?
They did, and I'm expecting
it was,
probably
Quake Arena, I think it was called.
I think so, and I'm hoping. I'm keeping my fingers crossed. Maybe next year we'll get the Quake 2 remaster. But yeah,
because then I think it was either a different company or the same company that released Unreal Tournament.
Yeah.
I do remember playing like one of the arena shooters back in the day.
Cool.
Obviously not in the 90s because I was like what 5 years old during the
I was not I was not a PC gamer really. I tried, but I had my Nintendo 64 and Quake came out on the Nintendo 64 and that's the version I had and I was happy with it.
It's actually funny because PC gaming was my first introduction to gaming. Because the first game I ever played was Warcraft 3 on the PC.
Oh, okay.
And then the second game was Diablo 2 on the PC.
I did have Diablo 2 on PC because for a brief period I was trying to get the PC game and I did get Diablo 2. I got the big collector's pack that came out.
Yeah, because I have
that's getting a re-release too.
Right behind my monitor, I have a bunch of Blizzard games back here. So I've got Warcraft 3, Diablo 2, Diablo 3, the original StarCraft, Star Wars Republic Commandos, Elder Scrolls 5 Skyrim, Total War Shogun 2.
Cool.
I have 2 different versions of Diablo 2 now I think about it.
Cool.
I did also get GTA 5 for PC as well.
Oh, Grand Theft Auto, right?
Yeah.
They keep re-releasing that thing. Daniel, question for you. You didn't say anything about the score of this movie.
I enjoyed the score for this movie. I was letting y'all talk. This was kind of like Matthew's movie.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I actually really liked the specific score itself. Obviously not the. Also, I enjoyed the 80s rock music, but the the actual score by what's his name, Vince
DiCola.
Yeah, Vince DiCola, I think. Yeah, I actually really liked the music that he had. You know, the Unicron melody and the shuttle escape, because those sounds actually sounded like they would fit in with the first 2 seasons of the cartoon.
They do. Yeah, they do. They do meld very, very well with that.
Yeah, it I don't know if he specifically listened to the music for the G1 cartoon before doing this, or if maybe someone just sort of told him what the general idea is.
He got this job because of his work on Rocky IV. That was kind of how he landed this job. That
makes a lot of sense because there are a few some of the soundtrack of Rocky IV does actually sound incredibly similar to this movie.
It does.
I have a question.
Was Rocky IV before this movie or after it?
Rocky IV was before.
Yeah, you were going to say, Boomer?
No, I have a question. What came out when this movie was out? What was the competition that box office weekend?
That weekend, I'm not sure that weekend, but I know it opened at 14th place that weekend.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah,
that's not good.
Yeah. When we say it didn't do well, it didn't do well. No.
Yeah.
Was it hit on home video?
Yeah, I mean it's got a great following now. I mean, just look at all the releases for every anniversary. But back at the time, and Matthew's right, the third season of the cartoon didn't do that well, and then that was it for the cartoon. And
I mean, at least over in Japan, the shows themselves actually had a bit more life in them, because it wasn't until 1987 or 88 when because there was 3 more shows after season 3. There were then 3 more Japanese full-length shows produced in Japan, and then they were going to have a 4th show, but by that point the popularity had waned quite a bit. Even in Japan, the popularity had gone down, so they decided to release the first episode of the 4th show, but as an individual episode, because they didn't have quite the money to produce another show.
Okay, I have the box office numbers. You want me to tell you the movies that beat it? At number 13, About Last Night. At number 12, Back to School. That's a good one. At number 11, Flight of the Navigator. Remember?
Oh, I love that film.
Yeah. Number 10,
I think I was like 5 when I saw that film.
Yeah. Heartburn.
Oh, I have that every day. Yeah, I have it every day.
Number 9, A Fine Mess. Number 8, Howard the Duck. Oh, number 8. It got beaten by Howard the Duck. That's sad. Oh. Number 7, Nothing in Common. Number 6, Ruthless People. Number 5, Top Gun. Number 4, One Crazy Summer. Number 3, Friday the 13th, Part 6, Jason Lives. Number 2, The Karate Kid, Part 2. And guess what number 1 was, Daniel?
Wait, I thought Friday the 13th 5 was called Jason Lives.
No, that was A New Beginning.
Oh.
What number 1?
Yeah, go ahead.
Aliens.
Okay.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense, actually.
Who wants to see Transformers? You can see Aliens. You can see Ripley, killing the alien queen, right?
Yeah.
That's what happened. But there were no Aliens toys, were there?
Actually, yeah, there was an Aliens toy line.
Okay.
I don't remember if the Aliens toy line came out was like being produced the same time as the film or after. Because I do distinctly remember seeing adverts for the Aliens toys. And I don't mean like on TV at the time, I mean like on YouTube. Like I remember finding like alien commercials for Aliens toys back in the 80s.
Yeah.
I mean, toys being produced for 80s cartoons isn't that special because I'm pretty sure RoboCop had toys as well.
Yeah.
I actually had 2 different kids cartoons as well.
Oh, look, Crispy says...
Is this what you were talking about?
What is it? What do you got there? Mad Magazine?
Scientist? No,
Mad Scientist Kit. What is that? Hold on. Oh, that's on your screen.
Hold it slightly higher.
Yeah. No, that's the dude.
Or remove Wolften's comment.
Alien maybe. Blood what? Alien Blood. What else does it say? Well, that's if you need to buy more alien blood for your
glow in the dark trees and ooze spawn alien blood compound.
Yeah, you had to buy that if your alien blood went dry. You had to buy more stuff. Actually, I have to give the points for releasing that separately because a lot of the times they make you buy the whole kit over again. No, they're just let me buy another. Maybe make it a different colors too. That'd be cool. Okay.
I feel like that would raise some concerning questions. Can you buy me more alien blood, please?
Those toys got into trouble. The parents groups did not like those toys.
Yeah.
Because if it's fun and boys like it, it's bad. That's basically the answer to that. Okay, but anyway, Flight of the Navigator when Disney made good movies. Yeah, I remember that, Crispy. That's a good movie, Flight of the Navigator.
Yeah, I have Flight of the Navigator on DVD.
Yeah, that's a good one. All right.
We're doing Clear and Present Danger Tuesday night with Zootopia and Troy again, Boomer. If you like to join us for that as well next week.
Well, I can't make any promises, but I do like that movie. We'll see. That one I've at least seen. You're doing these 2 nights a week, Daniel? Are you sure you want to do that? You're not going to dry out or anything?
Well, we were just talking. We had a good time. We were just looking for like a feel-good, America movie and.
Oh, I see. You're still having a holdover from the previous week. Okay.
Yeah.
We'll see. I can't promise, but I do like that movie, so we'll see. All right. But this was fun.
Matthew, you got a show coming up this Sunday or next Sunday?
Yes, this Sunday. Yeah, me, Troy, and Nanette are going to be talking about the first season of Ben 10 Omniverse.
Okay.
We finished Ultimate Alien. Was it a couple of weeks now? Yeah, I think it was either a week or 2 weeks ago.
What time do you start?
Well, my time it starts at 3:00 in the afternoon.
So about 9.
I'm not 100% sure. I know it's like different depending on where you are in America.
Yeah. Well, everyone tune in for Matthew Flynn if you don't already follow him. And Boomer's got a show Sunday night. Yes, Boomer?
Yeah, probably more me ranting about Cowboy Bebop. Oh, okay. I have to clip that. I'm going to clip that, actually. I am not happy. Okay.
And we will be back here next Wednesday Running theory right now, Star Trek 3 with Sir Ian. October is Omen month here at Soundtracks with Birdman. And also Tuesday night special episode with Clear and Present Danger. So we hope to see everyone next week. Have a good week, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. Leave a comment below. What's your thoughts on Transformers movie? Did it scar your childhood, or were you okay with it? Adopt, don't shop, and keep listening to great film scores. Thank you, everyone.